Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm just going to be doing another showcase of a bunch of minifigures that I've made recently. So I've got a couple. No, I've got one from Marvel, two from DC, and two from the Fargo TV show. So just get right into it. So first up is the Collector, Tanalia Tavan, from Guardians of the Galaxy and apparently Infinity War. And he's also at the end of Thor Dark World. But yeah, I made this minifigure after I finished the Grandmaster because apparently they're brothers and they look pretty cool together. And I'll just try and adjust the light a bit. Yeah, so the hair is from Egon Spengler. Well, it's not actually him, but it's the style, that style of hair. And I think it's quite a bit more accurate than the Joker hair that he has on the official minifigure. The face is from an elf guard from one of the Hobbit sets, the I can't even remember, the Barrel Escape set. And I just painted the eyebrows white, added some shadow on the eyes, and did some other details to make it look a little more accurate. The cape is made out of electrical tape, and I got some ear bud Q-tip thingies, and I just ripped off the fluff at the end, and I stuck it all over the cape, so it's kind of messy. But yeah, it works. And then there's a thicker layer on the edging of the cape, and then it's just got a bit of there's a pattern painted on there. Just focus. And there's some electrical tape with outlining on his shoulders as well. So yeah, this is pretty cool, and there's some black on the inside of the cape, and the white edging is there as well. The torso is completely painted, of course. It's painted onto a dark red torso, and I just added the black details. And the waistcoat has got some red pattern thing painted on there. So that looks pretty cool, I think. Just a bit of extra detail and texture. And the gold chain is sculpted out of green stuff, and I recently learned how to do chains, and there's another minifigure in this showcase with a golden chain as well. So yeah, I think that looks good, and there's just some lines and shoes painted on his legs. And his other arm under here is also painted with that pattern, and it has the fluff around the cuff. So that's rhymed, and that's the end for the Collector. Just getting away. Next up is the Comedian from Watchmen, DC Comics, and yeah. So this is based off the graphic novel version of the character, not the Jeffrey Dean Morgan one. So the hair is from my old version of the Grandmaster, which was just a sculpted and sanded widow's peak. So yeah, I modified it a little bit. And there's a loose strand on there, which is accurate to a particular frame in the comic, but I can't remember. There's a bit of dry brushing on the sides with white to add the aged look. His face is 100% painted, and there's the domino mask, his mustache, a bit of stubble, cheekbones, and the eyes are always really hard to paint on masks, but I think it turned out alright. The shoulder pad and the sleeve are painted with the American flag, obviously, which is accurate to the character, and they're sculpted both out of green stuff, as well as the smiley face badge, which he has on his left tit. The straps, well, his suspenders, suspender thingies, and his crotch guard and leg straps and his belt are all made out of electrical tape, and they're just outlined with grey paint. And these kneecaps are made out of a Lego Technic piece, one of those red ones that you like slide onto an axle, and it was just cut up into quarters. And so focus, mate. These are just bits of that cut up and stuck onto his kneecaps. And then a detail that a lot of people seemed to like was the hairs that I painted on his arm, on both of his arms, because he's quite hairy. So That's just a bit of extra detail. He's got stud glove tops, and the gun is just a Lego shotgun, rifle, whatever. It's probably rifle, and that's just painted up a little bit. I don't really have any special guns like brick arms or anything, so that's just the best I could do to give him an accessory. Yeah, so there's a bit of ab detail painted on there, and that is basically it for the comedian. And next up is another DC character who is quite obscure. Probably, I would assume a majority of people do not know who he is, and he doesn't want to stand up. That's okay. So his name is the Phantom Stranger, and I made him as a part of my Justice League Dark minifigure group. Yeah, he has a golden chain necklace amulet thing, which was sculpted on there. I'm really happy with how that turned out. His face is from the Vulture. His hat is a fedora, Mutt Williams hair combination, which I just stole this whole hat off my Question minifigure. The hands are white with stud glove tops, and he's just got like an undershirt painted there, which looks pretty cool. He's got a sort of suit jacket sort of painted on there. It's difficult to see because dark blue is really hard to paint on, I find. So yeah, his capes are made out of construction paper, and they're just painted blue and coated in Mod Podge. So yeah, he's pretty snazzy, and he looks quite great with the other Justice League Dark members, so that's all for him. It's pretty simple, but I think it turned out good. And the last two minifigures are Lester Nygaard and Lorne Malvo from the TV show Fargo. Lester's played by Martin Freeman, who's a bloody amazing actor, and Lorne Malvo is played by Billy Bob Thornton, who's also great. They're both amazing in the show, and I really enjoyed season 1, so I decided to make them. So we'll just start off with main character Lester. So his head is the Martin Freeman head from the Bilbo Baggins minifigure. Yeah, because it's the same actor, so I just used that. And I painted the bandage onto his nose, which gets broken in the first episode. And I also emphasised the bags under his eyes, as well as the crease between his eyebrows. The hair is one of those comb-over hair pieces, and I just heavily sanded it on the sides at the front, and painted it in tan and washed it in grey, and I think that looks quite great. The jacket, it's not really a jacket, it's a winter coat. That's made out of green stuff. I sculpted that onto the torso, and it is removable. He has two attires which I painted for him. So he's got the one with the sweater, and then also his kind of work suit, and I'll just change that in a minute. But yeah, so the details are all painted onto the coat, and there's some on his arm as well, on both of his arms. And I'm really happy with how the coat turned out. I think it looks great. It's like one of the best things I've sculpted. The hand has a bandage, which is a detail you'll only recognise if you watch the show, because he gets a bullet wound in his hand, and it's bloody disgusting. And then the hammer, which he uses to kill a particular character, spoilers, that's made out of a flex tube, I'll get something to point with. So this part is made out of a lightsaber hilt, and that end was just filled in, and this is green stuff, and that's just painted all black, and there's a bit of a blood effect on the end of that. Yeah, so I will just quickly try and change his outfit off camera. I'll just put Lorne in there because he's up next and something to look at. And I'll just be a second. Arms are coming off. Please, nothing break. The jacket is off. So this is what the jacket looks like when it's off. It's quite flexible. It's not very fragile though, so it's good. And that just slips over the torso like that, and then the arms go on. And I'll just put them on quickly. So the arms are on, the head is on, and the hair is on. So that is the alternate look that I made for him, and yeah, it's pretty nifty. Really happy with this minifigure, and yeah. So Lorne Malvo, I made him really quickly. The head is from, it's just a Legolas head, which a lot of people are using on costumes nowadays, but I painted the beard, and there's a bit of dry brushing with grey and black, which you can't really see, but you can see on the picture on Flickr and Instagram. So there's just details on there, and he has a mole on his forehead, so I painted that as well. There's bags under his eyes and other details, and the hair is a Matt Williams hair, and I sanded the front off completely and resculpted all of that and just painted it brown, and yeah, I think it's quite accurate to what his hair looks like in the show. It's just got that straight fringe. So I'm going to zoom out again. The jacket is made from construction paper, and the black fur on the kind of collar, that's sculpted out of green stuff, and I just made a texture with a toothpick in that. His cuffs are sculpted as well. His legs are from a zombie collectible minifigure, and the shoes are just painted on. And his pistol with the silencer is just a clone blaster. Bloody hell. And the silencer is electrical tape, which is just wrapped around the barrel. So, quite simple. Oh yeah, also his sweater jumper thing is painted underneath, which is just a tan torso, and all the details are painted with brown. So, that's pretty effective, and this concludes the showcase, I believe. So, it's just the last look at the two minifigures from Fargo. Oh yeah, let me just give Lester his hammer. Smashing. Okay, so just get everyone back into the keyframe. Keyframe, what the hell? Frame. Oh dear, this isn't a movie. And I appear to be missing one. No, there it is. Okay, set this up somehow. That doesn't look great. Yay. So, that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's quite long. Wow, 13 minutes. Bugger. I hope you all enjoyed these minifigures. You can find pictures of all of them except for Phantom Stranger on Flickr and Instagram. I might link them in my bio. Yes, I will do that. Yeah. No, I won't. Goodbye. Have a good day. I'm just dragging this on for no reason.